I get asked the question a lot, Chaz, where do you draw your inspiration from? And it's a good question. It is. But it's a question that can only be answered with a complex answer because my life has not been linear. I don't think a lot of people's lives are, maybe some. But I had a lot of cross sections, a lot of crossroads, if you would, in my life. And the only person that I can draw any kind of comparison with, because I feel like we are on the same plane, if you were, is Batman. I mean, that's of course if Batman was a real person. But see, therein lies the whole idiosyncrasy, because he's a fictional person, but a fictional person dealing with real life crises and identification in a fictional world that reflects real life. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. Like I said, my answer is complex. And I think that only somebody like Batman could tell the story that would even closely resemble how I feel and what my motivations are and where my inspiration comes from. Does that make sense? Is this thing on? We roll? Oh, we're rolling? Okay. All right. When you're Batman, things aren't always the way they appear. Like, for instance, people are always judging me, okay? If you walk around, feel like you're being judged all the time, you're going to build up a defense mechanism. And for me, it's just part of the reason why I put on the mask. Yeah? And the people see the mask and they think only one thing. Well, there he goes. He must be a superhero, some kind of crime fighter, or a criminal. First of all, those are the only two choices that people ever think of. But why couldn't I be just somebody out shopping, Just somebody that's going out to buy some, a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk, But people judge me because of the mask. And the fact that it's black, I think I can draw a lot of similarities to certain people around in the country. So I identify when people get discriminated against because of their skin color. I can really understand how uncomfortable it makes you feel. It makes you feel like you're wearing a mask, a skin over top of your other skin, but you wish you had different skin. It's much like being Batman. People assume that you're here to save the day. Well, some days I'm not. I just want to go out and kick it with my homies or something. But if I don't have homies. That's the thing. I'm a loner. It's difficult. I got to hang out with this old white butler, Alfred. Don't get me wrong. Alfred's an OG and everything, and he but Alfred is, Alfred can be a little bit of stuffy sometimes. He's always got an answer. He doesn't know how to read between the lines. Life ain't always just black and white. There is a gray area, and that's where Batman finds the most troublesome parts of my life. When I have to dissect all the things that are going on, it leaves a lot of questions that I beg to answer. So I just struggle with it, and I internalize that a lot of times. I internalize it because I do not know how to compartmentalize all these different subjects in my brain, and it just makes me angry. It gives me an angry, just disgruntled feeling, Like, for instance, I'm going to tell you something. Like, take, for instance, the artist formerly known as Prince, God rest his soul. One of my favorites. I listen to Prince a lot in the Batmobile, and, we worked together. We did a collabo a couple years back. He did one of my soundtracks. But take, for instance, the song Diamonds and Pearls. I didn't realize until you get a little older, you start hearing music, the words behind the music, you listen to them, you hear it with your ears for the first time. And he actually spelled out the word diamonds and pearls in the middle of the song. And I thought they were just singing it just hit me. I was driving on the parkway, and wow, how deep. They're spelling the word diamonds. Do you know how difficult it is to do something like that? To just take a song and start reciting the alphabet or spelling something and have it blend together so perfectly with the harmonics and the melody. It just syncopates right in there. And he was a genius. At the same time, there was another side when he wrote, When Doves Cry, and everybody thinks that song is about, a bird being sad or something, I mean, why would a bird be sad? That's silly. Come on now. Birds can't be sad. But it was more of a metaphor of his life, growing up, the struggle, which I identify with. He was like, well, maybe I'm just like my father. I understand what that's like. I don't know, 'cause my father was dead. I didn't have a father. I had a butler who raised me. And he said, maybe I'm more like my mother. She's never satisfied. Well, I guess I inherited that too, and I can identify with that, because I'm never satisfied. I'm never satisfied with anything. That's why I'm always so intense. Shit's just not right all the time, so I struggle with that, so I can identify with When Doves Cry. I play that a lot, and I sit back sometimes, and I'll just be in the back cave, just chilling. Me and myself. I put on Prince, I might blaze something up a little bit, keep in mind, I'm not real, but if I was real, this is what I would be doing probably, especially on a, beautiful Friday afternoon like today. There's just no reason to go out and do anything else, and you kind of got to get up the courage sometimes, the motivation, if you will, to go out and make a difference. And that's another struggle. Who said I got to make a difference because I wear a cape in it? Why can't I just be a regular dude? I know I got money, but y'all don't understand. The more money you make, the more money they take. It's a true story. It's just things that, that goes on in Batman's mind. It's just hard to wrap your head around sometimes. So just keep that in mind when you see me on the streets out there. Don't just assume I'm happy because I'm fighting crime and it's just my sworn duty. There's a lot of things I'd rather be doing, to be honest with you. That's all I got.